Previously on Asian Air Safari, we've explored the charming coastal city of Durban, driven across the countryside to leap into an ancient gorge, called on sea eagles in Umangazi, and visited the breathtaking homelands of the Xhosa people in Coffee Bay. In the second part of this adventure, I continue my journey across South Africa's Eastern Cape, riding across sandy shores, learning to surf its endless waves, while meeting the amazing locals and tasting the land's bountiful yield. I have just come from the shores of Coffee Bay, and we will be traveling along the coast to Morgan's Bay before heading to Chintsa East. From here, I will proceed on the next leg of my journey to Johannesburg. The great thing about the Wild Coast is the diversity of sights and activities you can see and do. Not a single shore is the same. Here in Morgan's Bay, I was up for a different kind of adventure. I've always had a passion for horses since I was young, and I was very happy to see that horse riding is a popular activity here. Horses arrived in South Africa in 1653, brought in by the Dutch settlers from Indonesia. These became the ancestors of the Cape horse. I got to chat with Abby and Bianca, the two girls who take care of these amazing creatures.
And how many horses altogether do you have here?
Altogether, we
42.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Can you take care of all those 43?
Yes. We do it every single
More than
day.
enough for me. But I think one thing good is you got a paddock. You don't have to walk them. You know, they have very good temperament when they have the natural
Habitat with you.
Today, Bianca and Abby were taking me along for a short trail ride.
Yeah, this one wants to go. Super windy today though, huh?
Yeah, no, it's very nice.
It was great to take them into the different kinds of terrain. But reaching the shores of the beach was particularly breathtaking.
I think it's just amazing. The scenery, the beach, and everything is something very unusual. And I'm surprised the horses were very well behaved.
Yeah.
More behaved than I was.
They're excellent. They're used to it. They're used
Yeah.
to the winds. They're used to people who don't know how to
Yes.
ride. They're awesome.
Yes.
I enjoyed riding on the beach, and I can tell the horses liked it too. What an incredible landscape. It was great to be around horses again, and people dedicated to taking care of them.
What a nice day. This is great for the horses. They can run around freely.
While here, I'm staying at the Morgan Bay Hotel, a peaceful, family-run retreat that has been around since 1946. I was happy to be invited by Richard, the third-generation owner of the hotel, where he tells me more about Morgan Bay's history.
Yeah, Morgan Bay is a special place. You know, our family been here since 1946. My grandfather got here in 1946.
Okay.
Straight after the war, he came out from North Africa. He was born in Pretoria
Okay.
and then came down here, and he sort of pioneered Morgan Bay.
Are you taking me to your favorite spot?
And we'll go now to the point where we'll see where the sun sets and where we go for sundowners.
Okay. Well, you certainly have the right vehicle for this terrain.
We made it to the top of the Dolorite Cliffs. I am literally blown away by the amazing views. Richard brings out a couple of cold beers, and it became the perfect sundowner. It does seem like a popular spot for the locals, who come here just to kick back at the end of the day. Below, the wild, rugged coast continues relentlessly into the horizon. Just like Richard's passion for his hometown, which will be carried on to the next generations.
But everybody comes here and they say, well, you know, this is such a great place. They tell nobody about it.
yeah.
So it's the Eastern Cape Wall, South Africa's best kept secret.
I felt privileged to be let in on this tightly guarded secret, not just for the fantastic views, but for being able to share a unique experience only the locals get to have.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank
Lovely
you.
having you guys here with us.
Sunset, just right.
It is right. Perfect timing.
Up next, I experience more local hospitality as I visit Chintsa East, taste the amazing ales and brews, and see if I can still flop on my belly to do some surfing. From the shores of Morgan's Bay, I make my way to Chintsa East, a tranquil little community almost at the end of the wild coast. Setting foot in this town, I can really feel the relaxed, laid-back vibe of the locals. My first stop was a local farm and brewery nestled in Chintsa's lush hills. I met Chris, who owns the place, who immediately pops me into the seat of his ATV to give me a quick tour of the area.
The farm runs from the Chintsa River to the Kafani. It's about 5 kilometers.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so it's about
it's a big one.
Yeah, it's 400 hectares.
Over a ridge, Chris shows me the view of Chintsa he is most proud of.
Wow, Chris, this is such a nice view.
Ah, no, it's fantastic. That's the Kafani River down there.
Okay.
One of the more beautiful restuaries, and further up the coast you got the entire wild coast, absolutely unspoiled beauty.
I think you can just hang out here every afternoon and have a beer.
Well, that's what we do on occasions. We do that. Bring some friends up here.
Speaking of beer, that was next on Chris's list. We headed back to the brewery, where he will teach me the fundamentals of what he does best.
Yeah, well, welcome to Emerald Vale Brewery. The brewery is named after the farm, the Emerald Vale Farm.
Okay.
Our ingredients that we decided to use were the best natural ingredients. So the barley malt over here,
Yes.
the hops.
Okay.
Okay. The hops is also from the Southern Cape. And water. And the water that we use here is our rainwater. And our rainwater here is actually excellent.
Water, malted barley, and choice hops are transformed by yeast into the beverage known and loved all over the world.
So this is where the fermentation occurs.
Yes.
The fermentation
How long does it take?
takes about 14 days for our ale, which just seems quite long for an ale.
After a process of maturing, carbonating, and cellaring, the beer will be ready for packing. Finally, we get to taste the final product.
The first beer is
This one.
is the light beer, but in summer this is by far the most popular.
Refreshing.
Refreshing. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, no, very, very refreshing, and sometimes a bit of a problem, especially over here.
You get carried away.
You get carried away, yes.
It's interesting how the beers get different kinds of flavors depending on the combination of ingredients, temperature, and other factors.
This is known as our amber ale. It's got 5% of the biscuit malt in, or and some dark malt in.
Yes.
And this has got a bit of a toffee flavour to it.
And what gives it coffee flavor?
It is a little bit of sweetness combined with the biscuit malt, and the darker roasted aromas are the coffee flavour to it. What do you say at home?
Mabuhay.
Mabuhay. Right? Mabuhay. Cheers.
From the farm, I headed to Chintsa's inviting shores. Here, I was able to meet Tagan, a surfing instructor and entrepreneur who wanted to show me a bit of this paradise he calls home.
I mean, we have so many spots to surf here. In this short little space, there's probably about 75 different surf spots.
Since it's not every day that I get to talk to a surfing instructor, I decided to get some common questions answered for those wanting to try out surfing. First, do you have to know how to swim?
Everybody asks me, do you need to be able to swim? And my answer is no. Knowing how to swim is not the foundation of learning how to surf. You know, the foundation of learning how to surf is to be able to be comfortable in the water and then learning how to catch the waves.
What if you're scared of sharks?
But you said there were lions behind us.
Yeah.
So I never worry about the shark. I worry about the lions.
About what's in the water. You know, when we do surf lessons, we generally don't go higher than waist deep, so it's not really something that we ever worry about. I think the biggest danger when you're learning how to surf is really the rips or the currents in the water.
Do you need to be physically fit to be able to surf?
It does help if you're physically stronger. That is one aspect. So if you're physically a little bit stronger and you can lift your body weight, it does make things a bit easier. But again, that's not the be all and do all
The secret of everything.
Yeah. If you have the hunger, the desire, the passion to want to learn something new, you can do it.
My mind is ready, but my body is not.
Tagan then takes me through the basics of catching a wave.
So we have to build up momentum or speed to be traveling at the same speed as the wave in order for the wave to push us. It's also physics, you know, there's physics involved that, you know, you got to know that if you're moving at the same momentum as the wave will push you. If you're not, the wave's going to go past you.
But I cheated my physics class. I was copying from my classmate.
No, don't worry, I kept falling asleep in mine, so we're on the same page there.
Okay.
So once you can understand that, we move to the next step where it's actually getting onto your board.
Now, this is the challenging part for me.
Once we see the wave coming, we get ready to climb onto our board. We make sure our toes are touching the back. And we're looking forward, and then we start paddling from the front of the nose of the board all the way back. And you keep doing that until you feel the wave pushing from behind. You'll feel it on your toes. Once you feel that, you do 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands under your chest, and you push up, and you ride the wave.
He manages to make it look really easy.
When you get in the water, those movements become second nature. It's just really practice. The more you do it, the more you practice those steps, the better it will get.
I bet you I can teach you to fly faster than you can teach me how to surf.
Well, let's shake on that. But that just could be I'm a good learner.
It may take more than an afternoon to teach this old pilot some new tricks. I was very happy to meet people who, like me, are passionate enough to be able to turn their hobbies into a living.
Surfing it's a fun sport. It's you being in nature, learning something new, but also making sure that they're having fun, because that's what it's about.
Up next, I get ready for the next part of my journey as I fly to Johannesburg, South Africa's largest city, where I dig deeper into the history of its people and dance to the rhythm of this nation. After exploring South Africa's Eastern Cape, I fly to the province of Gauteng, to the sprawling city of Johannesburg. In the 1880s, the discovery of minerals sparked a gold rush in the area, forming the town of Joburg, now South Africa's largest city. At its heart is the township of Soweto, a neighborhood that mirrors the country's tumultuous yet triumphant history. Together with my new friend, Lungile, we went on a tuk-tuk ride to explore Soweto.
So Soweto stands for South Western Townships.
That's why Soweto.
Soweto,
Okay.
because we are also southwest
Yes,
of Johannesburg.
that's right. Densely populated and mostly underdeveloped, it is the country's largest urban complex with a rich political history. Despite the palpable poverty, you will find the locals waving hello at every visitor.
We are taught here, you must say hello to someone. We say in Soweto,
Hello!
why respect the God you've never seen and disrespect the gods and the goddesses that you see every day.
Yes,
So if I say hello to you,
better say hello.
I respect you.
That's a good philosophy.
It's a great philosophy.
The township was created for the black population during the time of the apartheid, a system of racial segregation implemented by the white minority in power lasting for about 50 years.
These are the communities that still unfortunately bear the scars of apartheid. These areas were built for mine workers.
As we went around, I learned that Soweto residents became instrumental in the campaigns to overthrow the apartheid system.
Who is Hector Peterson?
Mr. Joy, Hector Peterson is the young kid in the picture there.
Yes.
The one being carried.
The one being carried. Oh, he's a young kid, huh?
12-year-old kid
Yes.
who was unfortunately shot and killed
Oh, no. Yes.
in 1976 during the Soweto uprising.
The peaceful demonstration staged by Soweto students was met by police brutality, captured in this historic photograph. The disturbing image put international pressure on the abolishment of the apartheid system, a turning point in the nation's history. From here, our tuk-tuk turned just a block away to a bustling intersection. This is perhaps the most famous street in all of Joburg. Villa Kasi Street is home to not just one, but two Nobel Peace Prize winners, Archbishop Desmond Tutu and South Africa's President Nelson Mandela, both key figures in the anti-apartheid movement. I made my way to house number 8115, which was the home of Nelson Mandela for many years. A lawyer by profession, he was a young revolutionary who became a major force in fighting for freedom and equality. Mandela spent about 28 years in prison for his efforts to end apartheid. When he was freed in 1990, this is the house he went home to, one that he shared with his second wife, Winnie. Mandela was elected president of South Africa in 1994, becoming the country's first black president, putting an end to minority rule. A visit to Soweto is a long, hard look at South Africa's struggle and a glimpse into its people's soul. Yet another way to get to know Soweto is through its flavors.
We are in the township of Johannesburg, and I'm gonna learn how to cook real, honest-to-goodness South African food.
Rather than just sit for a meal, Scelo here is going to help me prepare one. In the middle of busy Soweto is a lush herb garden where we pick the herbs we will need.
This one is sage.
Yes.
Yes, sage is very nice to use it on chicken, you know.
Smells good to me.
Yeah.
Urban gardening is quickly getting popular in the township. in order to sustain the community.
Interesting. I've never done this before.
You never done this before?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Welcome to Soweto.
Considering my skill level in the kitchen, Scelo wanted me to start with something simple.
We are cooking like chicken stew
Yes.
and pap.
Okay.
Don't forget, pap is our staple food.
For the stew, we need potatoes, onions, bell peppers, string beans, pumpkins, and carrots.
So you'll cut the carrots, no?
Okay.
But make sure you cut it bigger, like this.
Okay.
Can you chop the onion?
You have to show me the example so I do it right. I might cry.
Yeah, you're going to cry.
I feel like an expert already.
You are? Don't worry, by the time you finish, you'll be a professional.
Okay.
Well, I managed to keep all 10 fingers. So it was time to get our pot ready over the fire.
I'm very proud of my veggies that I've cut. Yes.
Then you can put the spices. We'll use turmeric.
Turmeric, okay.
Yes, paprika.
Yes.
Then we have chicken spice over here.
Oh.
Then we have mother-in-law.
What's mother-in-law?
Mother-in-law is very famous in India.
Okay.
But it's very famous in Soweto as well. As you like it, you know. Everyone will like your chicken.
Yeah, except my mother-in-law.
She's the one who's gonna like it more, you know.
As we let the vegetables simmer in the spices, we now cook the pap.
Pap is our staple food.
Yes.
The one I explained earlier to you.
Corn.
Yes, grounded
Grinded.
corn with cold water and a pinch of salt.
Okay.
Yeah, other people when it's cooked and done, they think it's a mashed potato. While it's not a mashed potato, it's a pap.
Pap is coarse flour made of corn and can be prepared like porridge or like a thick mash for stews.
To eat pap for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So we're almost the same.
Yeah, like you eating rice, you know?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner for us.
Yeah.
And you have to constantly mix it.
Yeah.
It gets very thick, and mixing it is a real arm workout.
And you know the nicest thing about pap is also it's gluten-free.
So it's healthy.
It's healthy.
When it's the right consistency, we take it out from the fire. Now back to our stew.
Okay, here's the chicken. Yes.
And
Put the
all I have to
chicken
do is
inside.
put it inside.
We add some garlic and add some salt for seasoning.
It's your pot. It's up to you. What do you think?
Just a little bit more.
Put a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's enough.
No, if I put too much, the doctor will get angry with me. So this is cornstarch. We're just mixing it.
You see your stew now is getting thick and
Wow,
you see now?
looking good.
Looking so beautiful.
Yes, everything
Yeah.
looks good.
We can close our pot
Yes.
and wait a little bit so that everything will be nice and cooked.
After a few minutes, our meal is finally ready.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Smells good. Let's see if it tastes good.
I can't wait to try the first meal I've ever cooked in my life.
How do you say bon appetit in Zulu?
In Zulu,
Yeah.
ukudla kumnandi. Yeah.
Very good.
I like it.
So pap is almost like rice. Even the veggies are good.
It was a very good mix of flavor and spices over the nice steaming pap. Very hearty and filling comfort food. Johannesburg today is a thriving art and cultural district, keeping the many forms of African tradition alive. This afternoon, I was up for a djembe drumming experience.
This drum is called a djembe drum, which means coming together. The way to hold the drum is you can hold it between your legs like this. The bottom needs to be open. So when you hold your hands in a triangle like this, you just beat it there. Let it bounce like on a trampoline. Okay, we're going with both hands. Boom, boom. Stay together. Boom. We're going a bit faster. Boom.
The djembe drum, made of rawhide stretched over hardwood, originated in West Africa and spread across the continent.
The easiest way to play the drum is to say the rhythm.
Communal drumming has been an important part of African life for thousands of years as a means to celebrate life and bring people together.
The most ancient music on the planet. This is the Bushman music. This is how they make music. They sing and dance under the full moon, and the music heals them.
More than just a drum lesson, it was a spiritual experience that allows you to connect with yourself and with others.
Now we're using drums for relaxation. We're using drums to de-stress, to get to know each other, to break barriers down, and to cross cultural bridges. Congratulations! You are now qualified African drummers. Can put that on your CV. People love it. It opens doors for you.
It was indeed a great activity to let loose, de-stress, and lift your spirits. Music and rhythm really have a way of uniting humans, regardless of culture, race, and religion. A message I continue to embrace as I journey through South Africa. Next week, in the last leg of this adventure, I dig deep into the secrets of the mining town in Cullinan before flying to one of the country's largest game reserves, where I have a genuine out-of-Africa experience.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in the next Asia Air Safari!